All right, guys, let's take a look at Tissot's Big Boy Diver. This is the SeaStar, and it is a little bit larger watch, but it is the Pro model, and it is 600-meter water depth rating on this thing. Helium escape valve on the side. Nice dimension to the case. So I have to say big thanks to David over at the Cranston location, Cranston, Rhode Island. I'll put all of his information down below. Direct link for this watch, as well as a discount code. Tell David I sent you. If you don't want to check out online, you can give him a call. His phone number's on there. Just reach out, get a hold of David, tell him you watch this video, get the best deal possible. Here's a hang tag. Snapshot in time, guys, you got to remember, we're in an era where prices just steadily climbing. So currently it's $12.25. Here's the rest of the information. A big long part number, but it is the black with blue wave dial SeaStar. That's what it is. Let's get into the size of this thing. So I measure the case, well, more like the bezel. The bezel does overhang the case a little bit. I'll give you a case measurement here in a second. But I measure the bezel at 45.85. Let's see if I can grab the case measurements. It's I almost have to go like this. So the case is like 44 3/4. Still a big watch. The lug to lug is a 51.5 millimeter. The thickness 16.5, double dome sapphire crystal. Slightly proud of the bezel, chamfered. You see a really nice high polished ceramic bezel insert. You have 22 millimeter lug opening. You have quick release spring bars on this hybrid strap. And you have an 8.5 millimeter, nice oversized size, signed and screw down crown, of course, for this water depth rating. The movement inside, Powermatic 80. Tells you that right on the dial, and you get a look at it on the case back. So you have sapphire crystals. Nice dimension to the dial. Very legible, large handset with a T, Tissot T, balance on the second hand with a lollipop out there, eclipsing those markers, which are applied to that chapter ring and then slightly hovered above the dial, giving it even more dimension. Frame date window at the 6 o'clock position, nicely framed, very legible. Still have that loomed marker down there. And then I want to share with you that, see that grip on that bezel? This is probably the best grip for a shallow knurling that I've ever handled. It's 120 click, but you do not have to, you don't have to squeeze it or pinch it hardly at all. The grip on this bezel is phenomenal. There's just enough sharpness on those cogs to allow you to get a nice, easy traction on this. So 120 click bezel, lines up perfect, of course. You have very similar knurling on the crown, so that's equally as easy to operate, but it's also an oversized crown, so that makes it easy as well. Let's pop it on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. Then, of course, we will do a loom shot. I'm surprised this strap isn't a little bit longer, so it being such a large watch. But there it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Great looking watch, still wearable at my size. I don't know, if you have like a 6.5 inch wrist and you like really big watches, sure, go for it. But you're kind of pushing, with a 51.5 millimeter lug to lug. It either is going to have just massive wrist presence on a smaller wrist, or it needs a little bit larger wrist to reside on. Let's do some comparisons too. I did this on a couple other videos, and I'd like to do it on this one. So here it is next to my Tudor LHD. Pretty close in size. Not a huge dramatic difference. It is larger though. Here it is next to a Doxo Sub 300. The crazy part about this one that makes it look even larger than it really is, it is a large watch, but it has a really big dial. So if I were to eyeball, and you almost have to get the entire opening because that chapter ring on there, it's like a 32.5 or 32 millimeter dial, whereas a lot of these divers are like 28 to 30 tops. So that's why it looks so much larger too. A lot of this watch stuff, you can't get too hung up on the measurements of the case. There's a lot of optical illusions. You'll see it from the same watch in different colorways for sure. You see it in just a lot of different things. So it's important to, of course, look at a lot of pictures, look at a lot of videos, but if you can, get into an authorized dealer such as Saltzmans in Rhode Island and try one on. I know that's not super easy to do, but it is a really cool vacation spot up there if you happen to do that. Let me give you the lume shot after I give a quick blast of the UV light. Studio lights off. Excellent lume on this, a really nice cool blue. I'm assuming it's a BGW9 formula, but a nice heavy application. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.